We will not go away until the sobs of the last woman who is being beaten are quieted. Judy Todd spoke these words on March 25, 1976, to the Welfare Board of Morris County. She had requested that victims of domestic violence be permitted to seek refuge in a children's shelter because there were no other services available. Instead of granting her request, the Welfare Board suggested establishing a system of private homes as temporary shelters. The next day, JBWS was officially formed. But what if the early founders of JBWS decided that housing up to 30 people at a time in their private homes was too much? What if they didn't want their personal telephone numbers to become a 24-hour domestic violence hotline? What if they succumbed to the challenges before them and gave up their fight to end domestic violence? What would these last 50 years have looked like? Take Maria and her family as an example. If JBWS's shelter was never founded, then Maria and her infant daughter would not have been able to flee abuse in the early 1980s. Her daughter Jasmine would have grown up witnessing her father abusing her mother. Without JBWS's counseling program, Jasmine's perceptions of a normal relationship would go unchallenged, and she would likely marry someone who acted like her father. Jasmine's children would have also grown up experiencing abuse and living in a constant state of fear. This could have motivated them to seek control in their relationships as a means of maintaining safety. Her children might have mimicked the abusive behavior of their father because they didn't know any better. But because a small group of women believed in their ability to make a difference, JBWS does exist. And we were there to welcome Maria into our shelter in the early 1980s. JBWS was there to provide the support and resources necessary to rebuild her life. Maria's daughter, Jasmine, grew up in a household without abuse, and she married someone who treated her kindly. Her children were able to develop a relationship with Jasmine's father because he received abuse intervention counseling from JBWS. This made him take accountability for the consequences of his abusive behavior and make better choices in his new relationships. The sheer tenacity of our early founders is why JBWS has been able to touch nearly 1 million lives over the last 50 years. These are the voices of JBWS.
I can always pick up the phone and call a friend who sincerely cares. For that is what you all have become, my friends.
Being in the shelter changed me dramatically. I know I'm very strong inside to have survived abuse.
I was in a very abusive relationship when I attended your workshop. Your words gave me the courage to break up with my boyfriend.
I did to my spouse what my father did to my mom. I didn't think it was possible to change, but JBWS taught me how to love my wife and children the way I should.
These voices highlight the generational impact of JBWS's services over the last several decades. As we prepare for the next 50 years of our agency, we promise to continue evolving to meet the needs of those impacted by domestic violence, so we can always provide the best support possible. What Judy Todd said on a March evening in 1976 still rings true today. JBWS will not go away until the sobs of every person who is being abused are quieted.